Alright, coming in, doing a Raw review for you. It's a little bit of a late Raw review, but uh, better late than never. Alright, coming in, doing a Raw review for you. The world's famous Raw report. Raw review, was it any good? Well, we'll find out. I'll go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. So Raw opened up with Adam Pearce saying he had some unfortunate business to handle. Pearce mentioned that he needed to speak with someone he knows in the building tonight. Pearce then called for Seth Rollins to come in the ring. There was a masked, hooded man at ringside, and the arena was filled with masked, hooded dudes around the ring. The fans chanted, "Holy crap," for the hooded dudes. Like, it wasn't really anything too special. I don't know why the fans were going all crazy over that, but the masked guys entered the ring and ran around a bit under one of them, stayed in the ring, and that was Seth Rollins. The fans cheered. Pearce said they see eye to eye because he does not like the vision. The fans sang Seth's theme song. Pearce said that when Rollins had done is unacceptable. Pearce mentioned that Rollins had surgery 5 months ago. Pearce stated that what Rollins has done has worked, but questioned what happens when it doesn't. Pearce wondered what happens when Rollins gets attacked. Pearce said that when Rollins had done is unacceptable. Pearce mentioned that Rollins had surgery 5 months ago. When Rollins gets attacked by somebody, because Pearce said Rollins isn't cleared, he warned the worst case scenario is getting their hands on him, which would be the end of Seth Rollins. No words from Seth Rollins. It seems like he might be ready for WrestleMania 40. I mean, why else would they bring him back to TV if he wasn't medically cleared? So. Um, and then Logan Paul and Austin Theory made their way to the ring. Paul said that the end of Rollins is now, and Theory said that there's a bullet with Seth's name on it, and the masked idiots aren't going to take the bullet for him. Theory said you can just consider this the worst case scenario. Rollins came for his masked wrestlers to get in the ring, so they did, and they all left in the arena. And then LA Knight made his entrance as the man who drove Paul Heyman away in the ambulance. Knight threw Paul into the barricade. Theory went after Knight with punches, but Knight punched Theory back. Paul and Theory attacked Knight with punches, so the Usos entered as the World Tag Team Champions. Jay and Jimmy Uso entered the ring to support LA Knight and eliminate the Vision. Jay superkicked Theory while the Usos delivered a double superkick to Paul, and Knight clotheslined Paul. And Theory pulled Paul out of the ring to save him. The fans chanted "Logan sucks" at Paul, and Jason did some yeeting with the fans. So that was the first segment of Monday Night Raw. The mask stuff, the mask hooded stuff was kind of cheesy. Like there was like a bunch of masked people in the ring. Like, I'm guessing it's probably Seth Rollins' students, but yeah, I don't know. It just, to me, it just seems kind of silly. And then Michael Cole went over some of the injuries that Paul Heyman is dealing with. So yeah, so I guess Paul Heyman is not cleared to wrestle. So, and then the Usos were interviewed by Jackie Redmond. Jay was asked about what happened out there, and Jay said that he didn't care about any of those guys. Jackie asked about the inflammatory remarks CM Punk made about their family. Jay seemed to dismiss it, but Jimmy said that maybe they had something to say, and they went back towards the arena. So next up is the women's gauntlet match for a shot at the women's IC title in the future. So this was a great match, but I don't know how it's building up to WrestleMania. They're like 42 days away from WrestleMania, and they haven't really got any matches announced. Because I'm guessing this will probably be a Raw match. So it was Io Sky versus Lyra Valkyria. This was a good 10-minute match. Unfortunately, Lyra Valkyria got eliminated because, of course, that's how they're treating Lyra Valkyria. But it was still Io Sky, who is also a talented wrestler. So I don't mind her taking the L here. And Lyra actually held her own against Io Sky. So that was, to hold your own against Io Sky is pretty good. So yeah, so I think this was a pretty good first match of the gauntlet. And then the next match was Io Sky versus Raquel Rodriguez. This went about 6 minutes. Raquel Rodriguez got eliminated. And then the next part was not so great. After the elimination, Raquel kicked Sky out of the ring. Raquel sent Sky face first into the ring post. Raquel gave Sky a touch-a-chon bomb on the apron. And then Ivy Nile ran down to the ring, rolled Sky into the ring, and Nile covered Sky for the pinfall. And yeah, and then Io just got eliminated like nothing against Ivy Nile. So next up was Ivy Nile versus Bayley, and all in all, this match altogether was like a 28-minute match with all the women. This match went 11 minutes. Bayley hit the cross-body block on the forearm on Asuka on the floor to start this fall. They got back up. Asuka managed to come back with a kick. They went on the break for some fans as Asuka worked over Bayley to remain in control. It was over 30 minutes into this gauntlet match as Asuka tripped up Bayley and applied an ankle lock. Bayley got out of that and applied her own knee bar. Asuka got into the ropes. Bayley hit a running dropkick to knock Asuka down to the floor. Back in the ring, Asuka hit a knee lift and clothesline, but Bayley hit a clothesline of her own. And then Bayley hit Bayley to belly on Asuka for a 2 count, and that was Bayley's old finisher move when she had the hugger gimmick. And she won that with it earlier, so it worked as a near fall. Asuka punched Bayley off the turnbuckle to the floor. Zayn tried to attack. So Lyra Valkyria dropkicked Zayn into the ring. Because Lyra Valkyria came out and helped. And yeah. And then Bayley got out of that, and Bayley hit a roast plant on Asuka for the pinfall win after 9 minutes for that fall. That gauntlet match went 37 minutes. So the first hour of Raw was the Vision and that gauntlet match. And so Bayley is going to be facing AJ Lee next week on Raw. I think this match would have been better if they faced at WrestleMania, because then Bayley and AJ can go back and forth until then. But I'm sure they're probably doing AJ Lee and Becky Lynch, so we kind of know that Bayley's not going to get the win. I mean, I like Bayley very much. Her and Alexa Bliss are like my favorites. So Natty was interviewed by Brian Saxton by the entrance. He was just doing a break. Saxton asked what's next for her. Natty spoke into the camera saying she hopes Maxine Dupree has a nice hospital stay, and she hopes she could diagnose why she's so feeble. Natty said that Dupree doesn't belong in her business. Natty said she let the fans tell her that she was good. Natty said she got lost as Natalia, and Natty said that she should have been in the gauntlet match. Natty said it's been 10 years since she's been a champion in the division that she built. And Natty said hearts don't lie. Dupree attacked Natty from behind with punches, and it was broken up. Natalia actually had a decent promo. It's nice to see her do something different than her Natalia gimmick. That was kind of getting a little bit stale. So I'm wondering if this match is going to be at WrestleMania. I mean, it'll make sense for them to do it at WrestleMania. And then this next segment. The original Al Americano, Chad Gable, was approached by Danhausen, who wanted Americano's mask. Americano said he has an Intercontinental title match. Americano told Danhausen to leave. Danhausen said if you don't want to join forces with Danhausen, then you are cursed. As Americano kept walking, Rayo and Bravo were in the background. That dreaded curse. So Penta made his entrance as the IC champion. Penta thanked his family, friends, and the company of all the fans around the world. Penta thanked everyone who believed in him. And Penta said he believed in himself to achieve this title. Penta said that this title is not just for Penta, it's for everybody who never gives up. The John Cena motto. Penta said that the title is Penta said he represents the dreamers and the fighters of real life. Penta spoke about how this title represents what it means to believe in yourself every day. So next up, it was supposed to be the original El Grande Americano, but it's El Grande, Luger Kaiser versus Penta, and nobody knows why. He was in the match instead of the original. Graves wondered if it has to do something with the curse, so I wonder if they're going to make that curse just like a gimmick now, where it's just he's going to come in and curse people and then cause people. I mean, that would have a shelf life, so. But this match went 13 minutes, with Penta getting the win, his first title defense. That Mexican Destroyer. Penta hit a springboard Mexican Destroyer for the pinfall win after 13 minutes. That Mexican Destroyer looked nasty, but on the replay it appeared like it was done safely. Grande had some offense in the match and looked credible throughout the match, but he had no chance to win. So this next segment was another video package talking with Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer spoke in Spanish and the translations were on screen. Vaquer complained about Morgan. Vaquer said she was forged in hell and fire Valkyria spoke about how they took different roads to get here, but now they are here. Valkyria said that she can see more in Liv than Liv sees in herself. Valkyria said Liv takes the easy way to the championship, and Valkyria told Liv to bring all of her years of training, because at WrestleMania, Valkyria will bring the blood, sweat, and experience. Liv Morgan was backstage with the Judgment Day, complaining about what Valkyria was saying. Yeah, no Spanish promos. Dominic Mysterio walked in asking if they had seen Finn Balor. JD Magana said he hasn't seen him all day, but he'll go find him. Dom said he has to go to the ring to get something off of his chest. And then Dan Housing made his entrance for a promo. He said hello to Seattle Housing. Dan Housing said he was very nice and very evil. Dan Housing thanked the fan housing, and he threw some t-shirts in the crowd. Dan Housing told him to buy a t-shirt and ended by saying, "You are cursed." So that's what they paid. That's what they paid Dan Housing for. Big money, big money to curse people. I guess it's money well spent. So this next segment, Dominic Mysterio made his entrance with Liv Morgan. Dominic said he demanded a rematch for the IC title. Dom said he should be the champion, but Penta is walking around with his title. Dominic said we all know whose fault it is. Dominic mentioned Finn Balor, saying he didn't want to do this out here since he wanted to do it privately, but you're making Dom air the dirty laundry in front of everybody. Finn made his entrance to his classic theme song, joined by his buddy JD Madonna. Dominic asked Finn where he's been. Dom said he's been looking for him. Balor said about last week, if it wasn't for him, then Dom would still be Intercontinental Champion. So for that, Balor is sorry. Balor said he was trying to help and teach him a lesson. Balor claimed Judgment Day is a family, and they'll always have Dom's back. Balor said that Dom wants to be the greatest Mysterio of all time, and he can be. Balor said that sometimes you have to fight your own battles. And Balor said for 2 years he's been trying to help and guide Dom. Balor said he realized that maybe Dom's right, and maybe Dom really is just a spoiled little censored word. Dom shoved Balor out of the way, and Balor hit a Pele cake to knock Dom down. JD pulled Balor off. Dominic charged, so Balor hit a sling blade on Dom. JD stopped his good friend Finn by hitting the clothesline. Liv and Raquel punched Balor with some weak punches. JD and Dom stomped on Balor. And yeah. So the Judgment Day turned on Finn Balor. And this is obviously coming like a long... You can actually see this coming for a long time as Finn was doing a lot of single matches, and they were kind of teasing the babyface push. So yeah, so we'll see where this will go from here. If Dominic and Finn Balor are gonna go at it, maybe at WrestleMania. I mean, they can go for the AAA Mega title, maybe. But we'll see where that goes. Javon Evans was showing backstage where Adam Pearce talked to him, saying he had done a good job. Pearce left. Kobe Kingston and Grayson Waller approached, so Kobe told Waller to give him some space. Kobe apologized to Evans about what had happened to them recently. Kobe said that Evans reminded Kobe about himself. Kobe said he became a WWE champion. Kobe said he believes in Evans, but he needs the right team around you. And Kobe said he knows that that Evans has dreams and you don't have to do it alone. Kobe wanted a handshake, but Evans did not shake hands. Oscar was yelling at Zayn in the background. So this is a tease for Kobe Kingston wanting Javon Evans to join the New Day. I don't think that will happen. But, yeah, I guess we'll see. Maybe they'll kick Waller out. Bailey was interviewed by Jackie Redmond, and Lyra Valkyrie was beside Bailey. Bailey thanked Lyra for being there for her. Lyra said that Bailey should be the next women's IC title holder. Bailey talked about how she can't wait to face AJ Lee for the women's IC title, and she loves her because they are close friends. Bailey said maybe she could face Lyra after she wins it. Bailey was excited as they left. So the next match, as I predicted, went 5 minutes. It was Obi Femi versus Rusev. Rusev got some offense in this match, but it was mainly Obi Femi showing his dominance. And yeah. And Rusev left AEW because he didn't want to lose, but in WWE he's losing like every match. So I mean, Rusev got plenty of offense in the match, but yeah. I think if if the plan is for Obi Femi to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I think Obi Femi should stay undefeated until that match, and that could really hype up that Obi Femi and Brock Lesnar match. Oh, and speaking of Brock Lesnar, next week on Raw, Brock Lesnar will return. I wonder if Paul Heyman's going to be there. Women's IC Championship, AJ Lee versus Bailey. The original Americano versus El Grande Americano. And Roman Reigns will be live next week as well. So next week's Raw is looking to be a big show, with some marquee matches, and Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns going to be there. Now this next segment, it was a main event promo segment as CM Punk made his entrance. They went on break. CM Punk said he was unsure what the temperature in the room would be regarding him. The fans chanted CM Punk, so obviously they are still cheering him after he called out Roman Reigns. Punk mentioned the Seattle Seahawks winning the Super Bowl, and they all cheered. Punk said he thought some people would be mad at him over what he said last week. One thing was disrespectful. Punk said that the fans seemed to love him. Punk said that Roman Reigns had never respected him, nor once in his entire career. The fans chanted OTC for Reigns. Punk said that he will force Reigns to respect the position he is in. Punk said that the championship said that championships find out to see who the best is, and those who are the best defend their titles and their championships. And Punk said that this title was created because Roman Reigns shunned his responsibilities as a champion. Because Punk said he defends his title because you deserve a fighting champion, which is kind of true. I mean, that title was kind of held hostage for Roman Reigns for like 2 years, however long he had it. So yeah, so then there was like no main title for like the longest time, so they made that title. And then the Usos came in and they wanted Punk to apologize Punk wondered why Reigns was sending his cousins to do his heavy lifting. Jay said he came out here on his own, and Punk better apologized. Jimmy tried to calm James down. Jimmy said that this has everything to do with respect. Jimmy told Phil he respected him. Jimmy said he respects Punk for speaking from the heart, and Punk runs through any obstacle. Jimmy mentioned Punk is the voice of the voiceless. Jimmy said that you can respect, but you can disrespect, but you can be disrespected. But you disrespected the late uncle, who has no voice. Punk said you're right because Sika doesn't have a voice. Punk said he's not spiritual, but he knows they are, and they are friends. Punk said he hopes he can hear this. Punk said that the Usos and Punks are friends and they go way back. Punk said he didn't know Sika. That was Roman Reigns' dad. For those of you who don't know. Because the last week Punk told Roman that he'll bury him next to his dead father. That's Sika. Punk said that the Usos and Punk are friends and they go back a long way. He said he didn't know Sika as well as he knew Alpha, and he drove to Allentown, Pennsylvania. Punk said that Alpha was always nice to him, and he damn well babysat Lance. Punk said he sat with Samoa and had him drop knowledge on him. Punk said that he respects the family and everyone, and everybody respects Punk except for that one son of a heap, and that was Roman Reigns. Punk said that Reigns is a lying, conniving, backstabbing, narcissistic politician. Jay said this is not about Roman Reigns. Jay said they need Punk to apologize. So Punk shook Jimmy's hand and said, I'm sorry. Punk shook Jay's hand, I'm sorry. Then Punk said he's sorry that Roman Reigns treated the two of you like garbage for years. Punk said he's sorry that Reigns called Dusty Rhodes irrelevant, while mentioning Cody Rhodes as his good friend. Of course they had to bring up Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes. Punk said that if Reigns cared about them, this company, and this business, then he'd be talking to him right now instead of talking to his young boys. Punk shoved Jay, so Jay shoved back and Jimmy punched Punk in the face. The Usos backed away. The Usos left. And Punk got back to his feet, and that was the end of Raw. So this promo was not that great. I don't know why the Usos got involved in this segment involving Roman Reigns and CM Punk, because Roman Reigns wanted to do this by himself. I think they were just trying to push the personal story to add the Punk and Reigns match. That is already a World Heavyweight title match. But yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. It wasn't as good as last week. But yeah, and so far they only got 4 matches for WrestleMania in total. If they want to sell tickets, they're having a hard time selling tickets. If they want to sell tickets, they got to start promoting more matches and setting up more feuds and more stories. Because there's going to be 2 nights and they got 4 matches so far. They still got some time, like almost a month away. They got Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, which might change. Stephanie versus Liv, Jade versus Rhea, and CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. So I would say the good in this show would probably be the Gauntlet match. The women's Gauntlet match was really good. The bad was Seth Rollins' segment. Because, yeah, I'm not sure how this Masked Man thing is going. It just looks kind of silly. And the bad on the show would probably have to be the Danhausen in the original El Grande Americano segment, because that just kind of made no sense how Danhausen cursed him, and then he was no longer in the match. No mention of him at all. That made no sense at all. So yeah. So that was Monday Night Raw. Let me know what you think. Tonight is AEW Dynamite, the Go Home Show. Tonight's the Go Home Show for Revolution on Saturday. So I think it's Saturday. Or it might be Sunday actually. Oh, it's Sunday. AEW Revolution's on Sunday, March 15th. So I actually might be able to do a watch along. I might be able to watch it. Maybe do a watch along. Because I'll be off that Monday. So I'll be doing a prediction show for that as well. Probably on Friday. Maybe. Or maybe Sunday night before the show. We'll see. So AEW Dynamite's on tonight. I want to get some gaming in today. So I'll do a Dynamite review tomorrow. And yeah. Until then, I will see you in the next video. Bye.